Mechanic Dan here with Runyon Surface Prep, and today we're going to talk about the 27-inch Aztec Burnisher. This is a pretty common rental. They're pretty basic. You could just say it's a engine and a pad, and you'd be pretty close to being right. But there's a few little things you need to pay attention to. So let's start out with, like we like to, tooling. Well, this isn't tooling. This is actually a pad. Get whatever grit pad you want. This one right here, I just happened to grab one. Some people just like Velcroing them to there and just stick them to there and just go with that. What you really need to do is make sure you have a good pad holder. Slide it in there, hold it up against there, and screw it on into your pad holder. Once you get that up there, get it good and tight, hold your pad up in there. Pick whatever pad you want, whatever grit you want. You also need to make sure, a lot of people will lose the pad and not realize it, and they'll just chew this pad holder up really good and make it to where it just doesn't hold a pad, or else it gets warped and causes all kinds of problems. It'll start shaking on you, and people think they just got to put more weight on it, but that's not the case. Your old pad driver needs to be good and flat and sticky. All right, as far as the pad goes, it's pretty simple. Just screw that thing on there, stick it to it, pick whatever pad you want. All right, let's get into the machine itself. Pretty basic. You don't even have to put a vacuum up to it. It actually has a canister with the filter. Just plug it on in, close that up. It's just like your vacuum cleaner, no problem. All right, some people have a question because it's actually got the block on the side of it, which a lot of people think is the emission box. That's not an emission box. All it is a tack and a reminder for your oil when you need to change your oil and filter. It's just a tack and an hour meter. It doesn't have the line going to your O2 sensor, so this thing's not going to shut off on you if it gets to running rich. It'll just start running rich, and then you'll know it's pretty simple. All you have to do is clean out your air filter, clean that out, change spark plug if you need to, you're good to go. Really, the only thing you need to worry about with this, check the oil every time you go to use it. Be sure if you change the oil, it takes 2 liters to fill up. Just check the oil. It's really easy to do. These things are pretty much bulletproof. This little 481 Kawasaki engine. All right, the one thing that we get 9 times out of 10, if we get a call about these, they'll say it's running really rough and the regulator is freezing up. 9 times out of 10 with all these propane machines, if we get a call about that, we know exactly what it is. If your regulator is freezing up, that means you actually have the liquid from the tank that's getting through the hose and into the regulator and freezing up your regulator. Liquid propane will freeze everything. It's like 33 degrees below zero is when it starts to boil. So it's way, way colder than that. So if you have a regulator that's acting up, engine acting up, and you look down and it looks like a block of ice, just like your freezer when it thaws up, freezes over, you know for a fact you're getting liquid up out of your tank is too full. Take your tank outside somewhere safe, release the bleeder, and just let it sit for a while until all the liquid that's coming out comes out and all you see is vapor coming out of your tank. All you want to see out of the bleeder is vapor, just a little mist. You don't want any spits of liquid or anything, because that liquid, once you open up your valve, is going to start working its way through your hose, get down into your regulator, through your lockout coil, and just freeze everything up. What happens is that little rubber diaphragm in there will freeze up and just stop. It won't work like it's supposed to, and you can't get the fuel through it like you want. You think that's okay because all you got to do is defrost it. Well, that rubber diaphragm has frozen and stretched, and when it defrosts and goes back, doesn't always go back into shape. Sometimes you get 4 or 5 freezes out of them before they just don't work anymore. So to recap, this thing's a really simple project. Make sure you have the right pad on there. Make sure you lock your pad on there with your pad driver. Keep that on there really good. Don't put weights on it because you think it's going to burnish better. Bad idea. It really overloads the pulley on the bottom of the belt, and it's just not made to do that. These things work really well the way they're designed. Check your oil every time before you go to start it. Make sure it's good and full. Make sure you use the right tank, vapor tank, no liquid tank, and make sure you don't overfill your tank. Other than that, these things are really easy to use, really helpful. If you have any questions, just give us a call here at Runyon Surface Prep. This has been Mechanic Dan for Runyon Surface Prep. Thank you.